Once I realized I was safe for real, and I mean for real, that's when I knew it was time to stop surviving and start thriving, start softening, and it was a lot easier said than done. So I realized I was safe um, once I had to get out of the mental blockage I was in. I came home from prison and I always had this inner fear that something bad was going to happen and I was going to get taken away from my family again. And I lived with a fear for about 6 years of that. And so I stayed indoors. I stayed away from people for the most part. And not to say I was just so like traumatized, scared, no, but like there was just this inner fear that any given thing could happen, that they watching me, that something would happen and I'm going back to prison, or maybe even something bad gonna happen and I'm gonna die and I'm not gonna get to live with my family and enjoy my daughter and see her grow up and things like that. So I just had this inner fear. Once I was able to conquer that mentally, then that's when I was able to say, okay, I can get out of survival mode and I can start thriving now. I had came home in 2019 and I've been home since. And I haven't had no issues with the laws or anything like that. But at the same time, it's like you get institutionalized in there and you get conditioned to that. And then you get out here, you can't find a job. So many obstacles are in your way. And I feel like they're on purpose to make you resort to breaking the law just to survive and so that you go back to prison. Thankfully, I was able to get out of that hamster wheel. And I was able to just live my life. And just now, I'm at the point of where I'm living my life. Really, honestly, living my life now. Because I wasn't living before. I was just hiding. And I was stuck in survival mode, stressing about bills, stressing about things that didn't even exist. Problems that were not even problems for real, I was stressing about. And that's not a good place to be in. My mind became its own prison. It became a mental place that I was locked in. And when that happens, that's worse than being in an actual prison.